Hello and welcome to Wonderful Earth. This is a channel where we dive into some of the most fascinating places in the world. In today's video, we're going to dive into the most remote places on Earth. In 2024, you'd think that most places in the world are really accessible, but the truth is, even today in 2024, there are many places on Earth nearly impossible to get to. Whether it's sheer remoteness, harsh conditions, or government restrictions, these are some places that you'll probably never go to. First up, we've got Pitcairn Island. Now, the British Overseas Territory is an incredibly remote part of the world. Made up of 4 volcanic islands in the South Pacific, the island enjoys a tropical climate year-round, a beautiful coastline, and best of all, the government will even give you land if you want to move there. So what's the catch? Well, Pitcairn is located thousands of miles from, well, anywhere. Even to its neighbours, Tahiti and Easter Island are still thousands of miles away. And getting there is no easy feat. But if you did want to visit Pitcairn for whatever reason, you first need to fly to Tahiti, then jump on a weekly connecting flight to a place called Mangareva. And from Mangareva, you'll need to take a 5-hour boat ride that only leaves once a week. Next up, we've got Tristan da Cunha. So Tristan da Cunha is one of the most remote inhabited places on Earth. A tiny speck in the vast South Atlantic Ocean, a mere 270 people call the island home. And the nearest significant landmass to Tristan da Cunha is Cape Town, which is still a whopping 2,800 kilometers away. If you want to escape everything and head to Tristan da Cunha, you'll need to first fly to Cape Town, as this is the only place in the world from which you can reach Tristan. You also need permission to enter Tristan da Cunha by obtaining a certificate from the local government council. Once you've obtained the permission slip, you can check the boat schedule, which can take you from Cape Town to Tristan da Cunha. This boat ride can take anywhere between 5 and 10 days depending on the conditions, and the Southern Atlantic certainly isn't known for its calm seas. Next, we've got Kerguelen, otherwise known as the Desolation Islands, which sounds ominous and for good reason. Located in the far south of the Indian Ocean, this French overseas territory is a cold, windswept, icy, rocky, remote part of the world. And other than for a few French scientists, the place is pretty much unsuitable for any human inhabitation. The nearest landmass, Madagascar, is over 3,300 kilometers away. And not that you'd want to, but you'd be hard pushed to visit the islands even from there. If you did want the challenge of visiting Kerguelen, there is a boat that leaves from Reunion Island. So your best bet would be to jump on that and endure the 6-day journey to the islands. There's also a fascinating book about a sailor who was shipwrecked on these islands, and the book details his story of climbing over the mountains to the other side of the island where he was rescued by a passing boat. So I'll leave the link in the description where you can check that out. Next, heading to Russia, to the town of Oymyakon. Located in the middle of the desolate Siberian wilderness, Oymyakon is the coldest inhabited place on Earth. Temperatures frequently drop here between -30 and -50 degrees Celsius during the winter. The town has a permanent population of around 500 and is located in the Sakha Republic of Siberian Russia. Getting here will mean a few long days of driving over frozen Siberian roads, so it's certainly not for the faint of heart. As most Westerners can't go to Russia as of 2022 anyway, getting to Oymyakon was difficult even before the invasion of Ukraine. But if you miraculously made it into Russia and wanted to visit Oymyakon, you would need to fly from Moscow to Yakutsk and then take a 2-day drive from Yakutsk all the way into Oymyakon. Next, heading to Greenland, to the town of Ittoqqortoormiit. While you'll have difficulty pronouncing it, getting to the place takes things to a whole new level. One of Greenland's most remote places, an Inuit settlement with a population of 200 to 300 permanent residents. If you thought your morning commute was hard, try this for a journey. To get to Ittoqqortoormiit, you'll need to go to Akureyri in northern Iceland, then take a boat from there to Nularit in Greenland. Once you're there, you've then got to take a boat or snowmobile or helicopter to reach the final destination, and there is no other way of getting there. Next, we head to the middle of the Pacific Ocean, to Point Nemo, and while not strictly a destination, Point Nemo is the furthest point on Earth away from anything else. Nemo means no one in Latin and describes this area perfectly. This particular set of coordinates in the South Pacific are so ridiculously remote that the closest inhabited island is Easter Island, which is still over 2,600 kilometers away. Point Nemo is so remote that astronauts operating on the International Space Station are actually closer than most people on Earth. But the exact whereabouts of Point Nemo is still relatively unknown because it describes a 22-kilometre square area, and the area is so vast that almost nobody ventures here. Next, we've got Mary Byrd Land in Antarctica. Now, if we're talking seriously remote, Mary Byrd Land is as remote gets. While the rest of Antarctica is mostly claimed by other countries, Mary Byrd Land remains unclaimed to this day. This is due to its sheer remoteness. Despite this, the volcano Mount Sibley has actually been climbed on 2 separate expeditions. So Mary Byrd Land is extremely difficult to get to and is by far the most challenging place on our list. Because no one actually lives here and there are no regular expeditions in the area, the only way to reach Mary Byrd Land would be to sail privately or organise some sort of scientific adventure expedition. Lastly, we head to the Indian Ocean. Now, North Sentinel is part of the Andaman Islands. The islands are fairly remote anyway, but North Sentinel takes accessibility issues to a whole new level. The island is home to a native, uncontacted tribe, and the Indian government has imposed strict restrictions both to protect the people and visitors. In 2018, an American missionary attempted to reach the people of North Sentinel, and after trying to spread Christianity to the island, he was promptly killed by a bow and arrow. While strictly prohibited, there is nothing physically stopping you from sailing or kayaking across to the island from the main Andamans, but don't expect the locals to greet you any differently from those who have already attempted contact. Hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of the most remote destinations on Earth. Please like and subscribe. Any questions, please comment down below. For now, it's goodbye from us at Wonderful Earth, and we'll see you in the next episode.